talking basketball. They're fucking dumb as shit. They don't know basketball, but they will make dumb ass jokes.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Pod Don't Lie with Sam and Stav. We are back. The playoffs have resumed. We're covering games. If you missed, or if you're not a Patreon subscriber, obviously we covered the player strike that happened last week in detail. We did a whole episode on it, and
that was a good episode.
Yeah, I think it was a nice one. It was,
we don't get that, political
right
or SJW for free. We gotta drop some coins.
That's right. If you want us to be fucking lib cucks, you got to pay money, dude. You got to pay money to hear us simp for people's rights, for equal rights.
You want to hear us be soy boys? You gotta subscribe to the Patreon. Patreon.com/poddon'tlie.
That's
baby.
right. That's right. The free episodes are for using complex penis analogies to describe players' performances. But obviously the NBA is back really it's been a fucking crazy time.
Yeah.
The players have obviously resumed. They're going to try and, they're going to try and keep using their platform, and we'll see what happens. And they've doubled down on voting efforts, but
using the NBA arenas as voting centers because they're so spacious is
which is cool. Yeah, absolutely.
Story.
It's good. I mean, it's definitely a step, and the thing with these things is it's not it's not going to happen overnight, and it's not going to happen because of one thing. So, hopefully all the billionaires that own all these fucking franchises can do something for the cities.
Dude, I'm just fantasizing about voting in the Garden, and like the hardwood floors are still down. Like I'm just gonna jump on and hold my arms out like Ewing. They're like that's not how it works.
The way you vote at the Garden is they have two trampolines set up on either, and everyone's just waiting in line to dunk on either the Biden or the Trump hoop. Honestly, you would get voting spiking 1,000% if you could dunk your vote.
Dude, why not? A trampoline?
Yeah, it's like slam ball. Remember slam ball? Did you ever watch that?
It was hilarious. It was on True TV.
Yeah, it was on
How did this never take off on a channel no one watches? Also, dude, I heard that if you vote at the Garden, JD and the Straight Shot are playing.
They're playing.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Better find a church, my friend.
Voter suppression, Jim Dolan style. Anyway, so yes, we'll keep an eye out on that, see what happens on that front. But for the meantime, basketball is back. These playoffs are resuming, and they are ending. We will have a champion after all of the turbulence that's happened this season.
Yeah.
And there've been some great games since the last time, since the games that got postponed, and also, a lot has happened. Also, we should probably mention at the top of the show, it's a tough time for losses in the NBA. I mean, before it's one after the others recently with John Thompson, most recently this morning.
Georgetown, great. Just
did great. Absolutely legendary.
Coach of my favorite player ever, Patrick Ewing,
Allen Iverson, turned that Georgetown program, first black man to win a major NCAA championship. And
we've talked about it on the podcast. We've talked about how he was like the black guy amongst a shitload of Italian men.
Right. Yes. And not just that, I mean, in the Big East, but then, you zoom out, and not just in the Big East, but Georgetown, it's not just all those it's not all those, working class immigrants that the Big East sort of was. It's also they collectively were sort of going to war against the NCAA establishment, which is, all these blue blood programs that have been around forever. And John Thompson, no one was facing more adversity in that than him. I mean, here's how good of a coach and how influential he was. Georgetown, which if you go to Georgetown in DC is maybe the most insufferable, just fucking Sperry's and boat shoes and like have date raped people on boats type of like vibe you'll ever be at. Like just the most shitty rich like
But
dickhead bros.
They gave us John Mulaney though. You got to give him that.
Yeah.
The other side of it.
Yes, a broken clock is right twice a day. That's correct. Eventually, sometimes you get some nice bros, but how cool he was I thought Georgetown was like a historically black school. I thought it was like the coolest place of all time. I mean, everyone did, man. It was like Georgetown was tough. They had the coolest players. AI, Patrick Ewing, just like Mutombo, just such cool. And it's like just the shittiest, most annoying place of all time, Georgetown, Washington, D.C. And it felt cool. It felt cool. And it was, you wanted to wear Georgetown gear. I was like a little kid and I wanted a Georgetown sweatshirt. You know what I mean? Like my mom got me it. I believe they had like I was a little too young to get the Nikes. But I believe they had like those fucking awesome Nikes and just like
the Hoya colors were kind of cool too. Just like very simple, very just cool. That gray and blue. It's just nice.
And he turned the program around and gave us some iconic players, nurtured them. I mean, Allen Iverson in his speech, and even today when he was talking about it on Twitter, he basically thanked him for saving his life. And if you know Allen Iverson's story, if it wasn't for a pardon, he would never have played college sports. He would have never been in the NBA. He would have been another person sort of taken down by, the criminal justice system. And there was a lot of baggage, you could say easily. And John Thompson took him and made him, got him in the NBA, made him an MVP and all that stuff. So just an incredible figure in basketball history. And, RIP to him. We're really going to, the basketball community is going to miss him. And it's not just him, Cliff Robinson, who, Blazer. I mean, played on a lot of teams.
I believe we talked about recently with Ian Carmel.
Ian Carmel.
By the way,
Uncle Cliffy.
Cliff Robinson would have translated beautifully to
today's
NBA. He was a stretch four in the 90s before that was really a thing. And I don't think he was even properly used. He was such a skilled scorer. And
no, he played center a lot of his career too, like straight up center. And but an incredible, just like would have really aged well and on
so young,
really cool teams, very young. Unfortunately, it's a real tragedy. I mean, I remember him when he played on Detroit. He was like at the end of his career.
Guy,
he was the old guy, but he played every fucking game, and it was just didn't play that many minutes, obviously, but he was fucking it was just too young. I think he was only like
52?
He was 52, 53.
Yeah, 53.
Still much too young. And oh wow, never mind. He played. Damn, when he was on Detroit, dude, Cliff Robinson was at 37 on Golden State. He played 82 games, 35 minutes a game.
Insane.
That's insanity, dude. 37.
No,
I mean, that was probably a horrific Golden State team. We're talking 2003, 2004, but still, he was on the championship Detroit team.
Jackie minutes from O'Donnell Foyle.
Wait, no, he wasn't. He was taken from O'Donnell Foyle, but yes. And then played, for the Nets until he was 40. So, and was selling weed under the Uncle Cliffy, which is a great name for a weed company, Uncle Cliffy's, like cannabis. Come on, dude. Let me get whatever Uncle Cliffy's rolling up. But rest in peace to him. And then
Chadwick Boseman,
also Lute Olson, the legendary Arizona coach. I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah,
I mean,
Chadwick Boseman, at least Lute Olson was old.
Old as shit, yeah.
I mean, everyone was tweeting about the movies he gave us while suffering from colon cancer, and you're
insanity,
like,
dude.
The pain he was in, and then you look back and you're like, he was so thin. You think about how jacked all these Marvel characters are, and you're like, oh yeah, Chadwick Boseman's just kind of a thin guy. You see next to Michael B. Jordan, who is like jacked.
Yeah,
dude.
He
must have been in horrible pain.
It's insane. It's insane what that guy went through, fighting cancer and doing, I mean, and just like, work. I mean, he was thin. He had cancer and he was working out to fucking play a superhero. It's insane, dude.
And he was great. I mean, Black Panther is iconic. You think of all the kids that wanted to just grow up
totally
and be Black Panther, and shit, man. Jackie Robinson. He would
Yeah.
have been such of course, the New York Post with the classy headline he would have been a legend and you're just like, fuck you.
Yeah, come on, the guy's a legend.
And he is a legend.
Yeah,
but he would have had just such an amazing body of work if if he got to keep going. He would have had so many iconic roles, and he had so many in such a short time. So
it's crazy. I mean, his career is almost. It's like it was almost at one point. It's like, all right, well, can somebody here? Here's how successful he was. At a certain point, people were like, "Wait, he's playing." Is he playing? Is there any famous black guy he's not going to play? He played James Brown, Jackie Robinson.
Yeah,
those
are, by the way, those are like
Black Panther
roles. Those aren't
big time.
Those aren't roles you can phone in.
Big time. Big time.
You can't. Yeah, dude. Also, I remember seeing him in like 2011 on an episode of Justified as a supporting character, and he's so good that you're like, oh shit, that guy's. I had to look him up, and I was like, he's a good actor.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like 9 years ago, but that was before Jackie Robinson. Like he has been a really good actor for so long.
Absolutely. And so rest in peace to him, and crazy and big NBA fan.
Oh, dude, the All-Star Weekend moment.
Yeah, with Oladipo and the Black Panther mask, and yeah.
You've made it as a cultural icon when they are paying homage to you at All-Star Weekend. That is such a cool moment.
Yeah, I'm hoping some point in my career someone does a can't get an erection themed basketball dunk at the dunk contest. I'm hoping someone tries their first dunk, doesn't make it, takes a Blue Chew. I hand them a Blue Chew. I hand them a dick pill, and then they fucking 360 windmill dunk. We got to work out the finer points. But I hope
to Dominique Wilkins holding up a 10.
Yeah. Yeah, somebody just easily jumps over me. It's not even until I'm 5'7".
It's not even a dunker. It's like Lou Williams. Yeah. You're like, whoa, he's not even known for his dunks.
So yeah, crazy weekend for losses for the NBA.
Just terrible, man.
Family and fandom.
And so many young guys. The young
guys, yeah, you're right.
43 and Chadwick Boseman, you're like, man, that's horrible. That's just horrible.
And Cliff Robinson, as finally it's like these athletes. It's like when they find their second thing, you almost feel like for a lot of these guys, you spend your whole life. I mean, at some point we played sports, and you forget when you're like 11, it's your whole life, right? Like you're like, I don't need to fucking, I'm going to go. I remember thinking when I was playing middle school basketball, and I would not grow 1 inch height wise, but I remember thinking like, I'm probably going to play at least college. You know what I mean? Meanwhile, I'd be 5'7" for the rest of my life. But these guys basically have that feeling that we've all sort of, we remember it. It's fun. Right. We remember the camaraderie. But it's like, imagine you spend your sort of whole life, and in a way you are somewhat suspended there, where you're like, you just focus on sports. It's that love you have since you're a kid. It continues till you're like 30, 40 years old. Yeah. And I really love when you see a player that like finds their next thing and starts to thrive and like lives their second life, which is, it's really great when you see that. And Cliff Robinson was really doing that. He was a beloved guy, and it's just really tragic for him to go so young. So
it's tragic.
Rest in peace to all those guys. Yeah. And, hopefully, 2020, that's enough deaths in general.
Dude, when Kobe died, I was like, I said to someone the other day, I'm like, if this year were a movie, I would have walked out 10 minutes in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like Kobe's dead, like your fucking hero dies.
Kobe, David Stern, all these guys, and for the NBA, it's been, and then obviously for the world and anyone that's had anybody who's died from the pandemic. So tough year, but we'll see what cartoonishly evil thing God can do to us. Chadwick Boseman was almost like, all right, let me really, I'm warmed up with all this tragedy. Let me really throw a fastball right now. Let me really fuck with people.
It was like a 98-mile-per-hour breaking ball where you're just like, what? I saw that picture of Chadwick Boseman on Instagram, and I was like, oh, surely they're just showing a Jackie Robinson picture.
Jackie Robinson Day.
And then you're like, wait, what? I didn't know.
Yeah, I saw a picture, and I was like, hopefully a different black guy died and a racist got it wrong. You know what I mean? It's like, hopefully this is Marco Rubio.
Hopefully this is Herman Cain again. Yeah. And they just fucked up.
But Anyway, a lot of basketball to discuss, and a lot of back to the thing that keeps our minds off of everything horrible. And
your Bucks made it through, obviously.
Made it through, eked that one out. I will admit, Saturday was a good friend of mine, my best friend growing up's birthday. So me and a bunch of the fellas went down to Maryland, and we just had some fucking crabs. Just us, basically locked in a house. It's like you can go on vacation, but not really. You know what I mean? Where it's just the guys I've been seeing every day, but we drive to a different place, stay in a house, order a bunch of fucking steamed crabs, and just get fucked up beyond belief and just eat crabs for hours. Have you ever done that? Have you ever done like the Baltimore eat steamed crabs for just hours?
We went to a great Korean place in Baltimore once. Remember that?
Yes, Honey Pig, of course.
But no, I've had crabs in Baltimore. I love.
Oh, dude, the crab. It's like the experience is just like truly doing it for like 5 hours because it takes forever to clean a crab. That's true. Dude, you stay out you just get you go by the water, get like a fucking nice, we were in the backyard of an Airbnb, but the ideal is you go, you're by the water, you can't, a little picnic table, fucking throw some brown paper on that bitch and just eat crab after crab, drinking Natty Boh after Natty Boh.
That sounds
smoking
good.
Spliff after spliff, just getting fucked up and eating crabs for like 6 hours. Incredible. It's it's a real Baltimore thing, and we love doing it.
We had dinner, a bunch of comics on Saturday, and it's like you haven't seen comics in a while. You forget how comics behave in public.
Yeah.
I'm with like Bobby Kelly and Keith Ross and all these like great seller guys to hang with, and people are walking by and they're like, "Look at this guy, Russ Maneve," and I'm like, they don't know who that is, and you're insulting a stranger.
Right.
They're just looking at him like, "What's your problem?" I'm like, "Oh, I forgot. We can't. This is how we act."
Yes.
He's just like shushing women.
Yeah.
They're just talking. He's like, "Shh," and then he's laughing. I'm like, he's like an old dude who's just. You forget how people behave. And, I had a weird weekend. A lot of I basically got taken off stage last night by a crazy
oh my God.
Brooklyn.
What happened?
Well, I was supposed to perform on it's that classic thing where they give me the address in like Bleecker Street. And I was like, oh, perfect. I'm gonna hang at the Cellar. And then they're like, no, Bleecker Street in Brooklyn. I was like, yeah, you got to say that. You can't just can't say like an iconic Manhattan street. So then we hop in a cab, we go over there. They're like, the roof, someone took the roof, a DJ took the roof. This is comedy 2020.
Yeah.
So we found a woman.
we've been outmanned by the DJs. The DJs have claimed our territory.
They got a union. They got So anyway, they paid some woman to use her backyard. She's shit-faced. She's not letting people in.
Brutal.
She's heckling every comic, and I'm like, well, I'll at least get like a funny moment out of this. So I go up and I kind of just bury her, and it's killing. And I'm like, man, well, at least and my recorder doesn't go off. I get no footage of it.
Oh, brutal.
And it would have been a great heckler moment. And then she comes up and grabs, she's like pissed drunk, screaming about the patriarchy. And I was like,
oh my God.
Ripped off everyone. You took their money and ruined the show.
Yeah.
And she's like, the patriarchy. And we're like, you are liberal Trump. You're the con artist.
Yes, the patriarchy exists, but you are also a dumb bitch. There's room for both. We're not fighting you on that, but right now in this moment, you are oppressing all of us by being such an asshole.
She literally said at one point, "Get off my lawn." I was like, you were like quoting Clint Eastwood in Gran Torino, who is not a feminist figure. I don't know if you're aware of that. He's not Betty Friedan, okay? So, anyway, I literally got no footage of it except her yoinking the mic out of my hand, which is still kind of funny. Maybe I'll still post it, but nightmare.
Brutal stuff, man. Yes. So weird weekend. I missed a lot of the Saturday games, and usually when I miss games, when I miss games, I usually watch them the next day. But I was just so fucked up all of Saturday into Sunday. It's one of those, when you're like, wait, maybe I'm not hungover, and then it's like the hangover crashes. Like you're in the eye of the storm for like 2 hours on the next day, and you're like, wow, maybe I'm resilient. I started thinking like maybe that 20-minute bike ride. I've really been taking care of myself. You think of the one time you've done exercise the last 6 months, and you're like, yeah, my body's probably just resilient now. And it's like, no, somehow it just delayed all the drugs. There was there was like there was a traffic jam at what was going to fuck me up first, whether it was the drugs, all the sodium. It was just like, which thing is it going to be diarrhea or a hangover first? And at some point they just all fucking crashed down on me. So I was absolutely fucked up all weekend.
I like that the natty light is like,
Let's
right,
move it.
Go
Yeah.
through.
Yes. The beer shits are like, come on, hurry up and give him a horrible headache.
Oh, dude, I had like spicy. I was at the cellar. They were just handing me different drinks every round. It'd be like an Aperol spritz. It would be like a spicy watermelon margarita.
Hell
just
yeah.
fucking gin. I was like, oh, I'm drinking. This is a disaster. Wait,
Of course. Oh, it's good. And
my
I'm
head
sure it
still
was.
hurts.
Yeah. So I did not go back and see Saturday's games, but obviously the Bucks took care of business.
That
Giannis
one-handed lefty dunk by Giannis was
awesome.
Pretty damn cool.
And Middleton having 21, a respectable game is big because he was looking like shit.
That's what scares me about the Bucks, though. I feel like every other team, like you put Giannis and you
–
replace the best player on any other East team with Giannis, and the team is just so much better. That's what
right.
It's like you replace him with Tatum, you replace him with Siakam, you replace him like anyone. I just think you've got a better.
Wait, you mean Middleton, or what do you say?
No,
you replace the star with Giannis.
The star. I'm saying you put Giannis on any other team.
That's a good point. Yes,
that's what worries me about the Bucks. Like, yeah, they're a tough defense, but I don't see anyone like creating their own offense in any way. And the Celtics have that, and they looked great the other day. But the Celtics have that with Kemba, Jaylen Brown, fucking Tatum.
Yeah.
Obviously. Even Marcus Smart can create to some degree. He can give you 5 assists easy. So,
yeah, he is a good passer. If not,
so that's
not
the thing
scorer.
is where I'm kind of like Bledsoe. Just like you don't trust him to shoot. You don't trust him to shoot.
Yeah, and right, and that's really what we're talking. Like that's. I've gone like back and forth between the Brogdon thing, but that's what you're discussing. Why is it a problem that Brogdon's not there? It's not in the regular season. It's a problem right now because Brogdon, for whatever you want to say about, probably Middleton is a better overall player in a good team. He's probably got the higher ceiling, but in terms of just creating some offense, I think, and not being scared at all. Brogdon is absolutely never scared. So anyway, we'll see what happens. They play the Heat today, actually. That's for game 1 is today. Rockets, Thunder. Again, I didn't see that one. It looks like Harden at least.
Harden was pretty dominant.
His offense, 31 points in 28 minutes. And Gordon playing good too is good.
And Russ was back. But you know what was interesting about that game is that PJ Tucker basically just got Schroeder ejected. They went at each other.
Did Schroeder hit him in the nuts, or didn't somebody hit somebody in the nuts?
I don't know, but I do know it seemed like PJ instigated it to me. And then it's like, that's a great move. PJ's a really good player, but the Rockets have so many weapons and the Thunder don't. So the Thunder lose that offense. You see Chris Paul passing the ball to people. Gilgeous-Alexander couldn't hit a shot. Lou Dort missed basically 9 straight threes. It was one of the things where they're just giving him open shots. And I was like, this is sad to watch.
It's so disrespectful when that happens to you in pickup. And they're like, let him shoot. They were doing the pickup defense. Like when all your defense is, nah, you can't do it. Go ahead, bitch. That's your defense is verbal. You know you're a bad shooter when someone can guard you with their mouth.
It's like when you're a kid and you put the shittiest kid in right field and you're like, you just keep hitting it to right field.
Yeah.
You just keep getting home runs because you can't catch. Yeah, I mean, it's like it was rough. And look, Lou Dort is a great defender, but he's young. If he can just develop a jump shot at all, he's going to be so dangerous.
Yeah. Even Paul, shooting 40% from the field,
But it's like Barkley was saying earlier how he's giving no love to Joel Embiid. He's like, you can't get swept. He's like, I never would have gotten swept. And you're like, yeah, that's a competitor thing. And Chris Paul is that guy where you're like, yeah, he's not getting swept.
Right. Which is funny. That is the one thing Chuck has on Shaq. Boy, did Shaq get swept a lot. Got swept in the finals and got swept. But the Lakers got swept a lot before they finally put it together. But that actually
he got swept by Hakeem, but it was weird. They had that game 1, and then the Rockets just went on a run. They're like, oh yeah, you'll never win another game ever.
Yeah. Which, you know what, in a lot of ways is sort of emblematic of who they were as players. With Shaq, it was just like, does he feel like doing it? You know what I mean? Like, can he
Yeah.
put it? Because if he does, watch out. With Barkley, it was like, I'm going to play as much as I can. I just happen to be 6'6"
Yeah.
and like weigh 100 pounds less than other, forwards and centers at the time. But
No, Barkley,
anyway,
he gave it all for sure.
yeah. Oh my God. Lou Dort shot, Jesus Christ, 0% from 3 and 18% from the field.
What were the numbers?
0 for 9, 3 for 16. Brutal.
Rough game, man. And
Brutal. Jesus
And they were open
Christ.
looks. I mean, he's just not a good shooter yet.
Yeah.
And Chris Paul is like, the guy's so tiny and he has to do everything. You just feel
Yeah.
But you know.
Yeah, that's how a lot of people describe my penis during sex. The guy's so tiny, you just feel for him out there, overmatched.
But you do,
Anyway,
but you take 2 games. You do.
yeah.
Take
Listen,
2 games.
I'm not getting swept. We're figuring something out. I don't know about 2, but
Dude, it was so that series is like, it's just tough now that Westbrook's back. I think the Rockets
the closeout game, the likely closeout game is tonight. So we'll see.
But who knows?
I mean, I
Maybe
think it's going to be the
7.
Rockets.
Maybe Chris Paul just fucking goes nuts. You never know. But
I would be shocked. I think it's gonna. I think.
I'd
think
rather
the
see the
Rockets-
Rockets Lakers in round 2.
Easily. I mean, that's the other thing that's proven is like a lot of people are sort of talking themselves into Thunder a little bit. I think you included, and not just from like rooting for Chris Paul, but also like, yeah, it would be cool to see this team. And I think we're learning, no, it would not. There's nothing cool that would happen.
It would, and also I kind of think it's bad for basketball if Harden goes out in the first round.
Yeah, and it's just like
Westbrook, who's always out in the first round,
right?
So
it'll be interesting to see what happens. I would love to see. It's at least people are going to watch Rockets Lakers. They're gonna. It's just like it's good for the NBA, like just from entertainment, from a rating standpoint.
And
at all.
it's a matchup issue for the Lakers, which is fun. It's
exactly.
Fun. It's fun that I mean, as much as any matchup issue. I mean, you just play AD at center. I was thinking about the other day. Are there any centers that could be the go-to guy in the championship anymore? Is NBA changed that much? I don't think.
I don't think there's been that way since. I mean, who even was that?
Tim Duncan.
I guess, but even, I mean, was he even? I guess he was a center.
They'd list him at power forward when he came in the league
because
of David Robinson. But I feel like he's always been kind of a center.
Was he like the clutch guy? Would you say?
Dude. Yeah. I mean, Tony Parker got buckets, but Tim
Parker
Duncan
and it's like I think you have to be surrounded by an elite. There's got to be an elite
Tim
guard.
Duncan is without question the most valuable guy in the team.
Yeah.
And I just I look around right now.
Certainly. Would you say that's true of the Heat? The time they beat the Heat, I don't know that I would. I mean, Kawhi won MVP that series, and they had Kawhi. I think probably the first Tim Duncan, like the championship before that. I think that's the last time.
That was Duncan and Robinson. Well, no, yeah. I mean, yeah,
not Duncan and Robinson. I mean, one of the ones they beat, like whatever the Detroit or the Nets or whatever. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I just think it's been a while.
Because I would argue it's not even Shaq, because Shaq sort of needed Kobe on some level. But Shaq needed D Wade on some level.
He was 3-time Final MVP though. Shaq. He did put up the better numbers. Shaq is the guy in those teams. I'm just saying in general now, like Embiid, he's not the go-to guy in a championship team. At least not yet.
Okay.
Murray is the fucking guy right now.
Absolutely.
Murray is keeping them in the game.
Well, that's what I would say. I guess it depends.
As LeBron.
Right. I guess it depends on the definition of go-to guy. I think with Shaq, it's like he'll eat up he will do I mean, without Shaq, you don't get there, or without a center that could put up huge numbers. But like when it comes to crunch time, when you're talking about, especially with Shaq's case because of his free throws, but just because of how the game is played, it's just harder to get the ball to a center for a fucking last-minute pass.
AD is he's the only guy in the league right now that I think is a big man who could win Finals MVP.
Yeah. I mean, Giannis could win Finals MVP if you count him as a big man.
He doesn't seem...
He's his own thing, yeah.
Yeah, he's like not even... He's like positionless, Giannis.
Yeah.
What is he? I guess you just say he's a forward.
You just say he's a forward. I mean, people were talking about him as he's the modern era Shaq, but there is definitely
Shaq wasn't crossing people up at the free throw.
Right. They just mean like
the 3-point line,
evolutionarily, you know what I mean? Like
Right.
that's what it would look like.
I guess so. That makes sense.
And I mean, when you do their numbers, it's crazy to see him like. It is really wild that we are living just in such a fucking golden era of basketball,
Yeah.
and the pace and everything going up. But so the Lakers, I watched again. Didn't watch any of those games, but I did watch the highlights. Anytime you see Davis and LeBron, would they combine for 80 points? Like something like Davis had 43, LeBron had 36. LeBron had a 36, 10, and 10 triple double. They didn't have Lillard.
Thin, though, man. I still think they're kind of thin. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Like, Clippers are so much deeper. Like, if Kuzma goes off, yeah, the Lakers are going to be really hard to beat. But Kuzma's really, like, he's the X factor for them. Like, is he give you a great game? Otherwise, LeBron and AD have to bring it every night. Whereas the Clippers, Paul George can play badly, and I still think they could win.
Absolutely. I mean, they've shown it. Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But AD can't really play badly.
Right. That's true. But you know what? If you're AD, you're not supposed to play badly. You're supposed to be a superstar. So
I think that's why you get Paul George, though, too. I know that they're not on the same level, but I think Paul George, you expect.
Nah, AD is a much better player than Paul George, right?
He is. I agree, but I think there was a lot of talk who's the better duo, AD and LeBron versus Kawhi.
I don't think there was ever. I guess you know what? I guess there on some level there was just because of LeBron's age, but I think.
Yeah.
But I think mostly
Kawhi
it wasn't
coming off Finals MVP. It's a conversation for sure.
I suppose. I don't think it is anymore. I think it's more of. I think the Lakers clearly have the better duo. It's just they don't have the better team. There's no argument there. And
too many weapons on the Clippers right now. I think the Clippers are the team to beat. And I said that from the get-go. But
it's like if I were a Lakers fan, I would be jealous of what the Clippers are going through because in some ways, I mean, Luka and the Mavs were a perfect sort of tune-up for them. You want to talk about – I mean, the Blazers were not really. They had one game where they were whatever, and they just beat the Lakers. And after that, it was like, all right, can we focus?
It was AI versus the Lakers.
Right, really,
AI.
yeah. But matchup-wise, it didn't teach them anything. No one's going to play like the Blazers. And on some level, you could say that about the Rockets too. It'll be interesting to get over, but it's not exactly – they're not conventional in the way that Luka, maybe in some ways you could see that as like a tune-up for LeBron. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like having to play Luka.
He's young LeBron, man. He's young LeBron.
And then you have, whatever. Whoever happens to play them next, whether that's the Nuggets or the Jazz, at least is like.
I think the Nuggets are going to close this out, man.
Let's talk about that game.
I was shocked this went 7. At the beginning of the season, I think my prediction was Nuggets in 6. As was yours?
Yeah, I had Nuggets.
And I just think, like, here, I'll give the Jazz credit. Mitchell, I believe in. I didn't think no one thought he played this well.
Right.
And as for Mike Conley, he's just shown up.
He came back and yeah.
I don't know. I don't know where this Mike Conley's been all year. They don't have Bogdanovich. I didn't think a lot of them. I love Joe Ingles. I think Gobert's had great moments, but
he really has, yeah.
But Jamal Murray is
unbelievable.
He has taken the leap, dude.
I mean, let's start there before we go into the general series.
He's my pick this week. I'm giving it away right now.
He's got to be.
He's the guy who fucks of the week.
He's got to be guy who fucks of the week for sure. Jamal Murray is playing out of his fucking mind. Last night, Game 6, these stats. Jamal Murray's game last night was. It looks fake if you look at his stat line. 50 points on 70.8% from the field. This man shot 71% from the fucking field, 75 from 3. 50 points, 70%. That's fucking wild. And
they're not easy
dude.
shots he's hitting.
No,
they're coming off picks, jacking up threes. I mean, these are tough shots.
With a couple minutes left in the fourth quarter, he had 40. I was like, oh, this is good. He'll probably end with like 42, something like that. And he just. Every time the fucking Jazz made a bucket, he answers with a fucking 3. And he ends it with a fucking wild step back 3 contested. It was to the point where
a dagger.
He was so hot.
Dagger.
He was so hot. You're like, no, he's got to miss one. He didn't miss any of them, dude. It was fucking watching him play last night was fucking crazy. And look, neither of these teams are defensive like whatever team plays the Clippers next is really in for it. Like it's going to be a rude awakening.
At least the Nuggets have depth to me. I don't think there's a lot of depth on the Jazz right now. The Nuggets at least can, like, Gary Harris is back. He's probably
He
gonna
played,
be
yeah. He played okay.
Michael Porter can kind of be interesting at least. They have guys that can at least make it interesting off the bench right now. Whereas I don't know the same about the Jazz.
Yeah, that's probably true. They're probably better equipped, but I'm just saying,
either team will get pummeled by the Clippers.
Either team will be like, oh, I mean, I'll put it this way: Donovan Mitchell and Jamal Murray are not going to be putting up multiple 50-point games against the Clippers.
No,
that's just not happening.
No, but I mean,
and listen,
they're not going against. I mean, we've been making fun of Paul George in this podcast. He's an elite defender.
Totally.
Obviously,
I mean, not just Paul George. Pat Bev, you would hope would be back.
Going to be back. Yeah,
you'd hope so. Kawhi, Paul George. Marcus
Mook.
Morris. Yep.
Mook, baby.
Even though these guys are little guards, you'd assume it's going to be. I don't know who even guards them. I guess Reggie Jackson. Like, who's even guarding them in this situation? But either way, they're going to throw somebody on them, and they could even probably play a little bigger because of the Nuggets. But Murray has just been out of his fucking mind. I mean, Game 4, 50 points, 60% from three, 58 from the field, 11 rebounds, 7 assists. Game 5, 42 points, 65 from the field, 8 and 8.
Yeah.
And that one, Game 5 was when. Listen, to me, that was when his nuts really went just to the next. We're like two beanbags, because he scores 33 of 42 in the second half that game, and that plays the whole second half. That's star player shit. And they were about to get eliminated in that game. And credit to Denver, actually, they played. The only time they really played defense was that fourth quarter, and Jokic played some. And Malone did some smart stuff where they varied whether Jokic was going to come out and fuck with the guy driving, how they were going to play the pick and roll, because he's been hanging back a lot at the rim, and that just kind of lets the Jazz do whatever the fuck they want in that floater range, and it hasn't been effective, to say the least. But Jokic kind of came out and challenged a lot of those shots in Game 5.
And Jokic has looked good, man. He's giving you. I mean, they are a great duo. It's about what can the supporting guys give you right now?
Yeah, I'm kind of, what I really like to see is Jokic against the Clippers, because Jokic is the one with the hardest assignment here. I mean, having to play with guard Gobert, who's just bigger than him, and also play against him. It's like, it's not easy for him. And the Clippers don't really have anybody that I think gives him trouble in that same way. You could say Montrez, but again, Trez is 6'7", whatever he is.
And he's been guarding Boban all series. Where it's just like, come on, dude. This is Johan's just posting up from the free throw line with one-handers. Quinn Snyder looking furious on the bench.
Oh my God,
furious
but hot.
I haven't seen him this angry since Spider-Man foiled his plans. Holy shit! But no,
he's got skinny jeans on. He's got the shoes with no socks. My man's looking good. He's trying to get some pussy somehow in the bubble. It's going to be hilarious.
He is a trendy dude.
Dude, Quinn Snyder is going straight to fucking Tampa from Orlando. He's just getting he's renting a car under an alias and just going on a low grade prostitute binge in Tampa. He's going
going by Lynn Scheider. Hey, Lynn. Hey, man. What's up? You know why that guy gets so much action is because he smokes Cushy Dreams. Did you know that?
That's so true. I did hear that what happens is Quinn Snyder, when he's ready to just pound pussy all night, get some of the top quality hand-picked CBD in America, and the number one brand of CBD in these United States, without a doubt, is our friends over at Cushy Dreams. I heard that Quinn Snyder popped open a hole, and I don't know if you know this, Sam. Cushy Dreams sells, I mean, you know this, but I don't know if our listeners know this. They sell pre-rolls that are about 1 gram each of the most delicious, high-quality CBD.
They look beautiful. They're very well rolled.
They taste like regular marijuana, smells like it, really feels that way, but it doesn't get you as high and groggy. So
it helps you sleep. It's nice.
It helps you sleep. Or if you get the right blend, you get some hustle, you get some energy. They have different blends. They have different indica sativa blends. Quinn Snyder, on that rent-a-car ride to Tampa when his team gets eliminated, I have it on good authority he's going to be blasting 4 back-to-back hustle pre-rolls, and just getting amped up, ready to just smash box from some woman who's got a rose tattoo on one of her ass cheeks, which is fake, by the way.
Okay, I was worried.
No, the ass is fake for sure.
I thought the tattoo was fake.
No, the tattoo is real. The ass is a fake ass.
This is like a novella right here.
Yeah.
Do you think what is it? It's cushydreams.com and you put pod don't? Is that what it is?
Well, yes. So if you want to be like us, if you want to be like our friend Quinn Snyder and his skinny jeans, and he can't, apparently the league told him he can't wear skinny jeans anymore because through some camera angles you could actually see the Cushy Dreams pre-rolls in his pocket.
Whoa.
That's how tight. And the league, listen, they think, I have it on good authority, everyone thinks Cushy Dreams is a superior product, but the Cushy Dreams doesn't have NBA advertising money. They got Pod Don't Lie advertising money, though.
Yeah, they do.
But you know what? Even if they didn't, we'd be happy to because we love the fucking product.
Yeah,
We're smoking Cushy Dreams day in and day out.
Love it. It's great.
Oh, I'm loving it. As you know, we've said multiple times that we like to smoke a little Cushy Dreams to get us to bed. It's great for that. It's great to get you fucking going. Otherwise, if you want to smoke the different blends that they have. But what you're going to want to do if you want some of this high-quality CBD, which, like we said, looks like high-quality marijuana, feels like high-quality marijuana, tastes like it. You get all the health benefits of CBD without getting high. Yeah. Beautiful attention to detail. Awesome shit. And it's lab tested, all the good shit. If you want that, whether you want to smoke energy, hustle, relax, dream, whatever, whether you want the eighth, that comes in a little eighth, vacuum sealed so it's fresh. Whatever you want, go to cushydreams.com, Kushy, cushydreams.com, and check out, use promo code PODDON'T, PODDONT, for 15% off your first order. Be like us.
Because you can.
Yeah, smoke your CBD because you can.
Well, yeah, I'm happy that I think the Nuggets are going to win. I don't love – these are two of my least favorite teams left, to be honest. But
oh, really?
I'm loving watching Donovan Mitchell.
This has just been such a
I love
fun
them
series
against
to
each
watch.
other.
Yeah.
Matchup-wise, they're great. But I'm like, I'd rather watch the Clippers. I'd rather watch the Lakers. Yeah. Jamal Murray and Donovan Mitchell have been the reason to tune in for me. They've been incredible.
And listen, we are sucking off Jamal Murray, who's been playing fucking incredible.
Incredible.
But it should also be said, Donovan Mitchell, this is a little bit of like recency bias here because he's averaging more than Murray in these playoffs. He's averaging 38.7, and Murray's averaging 34. Yeah, and he had a great game. He had a great game last night, too. He hit 9 threes, too. He went 9 for 13. He had 44 points on 56%. I mean, this is nothing to sneeze at. That's fucking insane. It just so happens Murray shot 70 from the field. It's crazy that a guy shoots 56 from the field, has 44, and it's not even close to the biggest
don't you think that Donovan
scoring
doesn't have the same help? I mean, he has to go off.
Oh yeah, for sure. Definitely he doesn't have the same help.
But to be 6'1" and attack the rim like that, it is fucking insane, dude.
Yeah.
Mitchell is he's a scorer. I mean, he's just he's a bucket every time. He'll hit the three and he's got that like Euro step where he can just like throw it off the glass where it's like, man, he has got a kind of a sophisticated game for his age.
Totally. And it's interesting. I mean, maybe I just haven't been paying attention. I got to go through Donovan Mitchell's shooting this year. And I didn't watch a lot of the Jazz this year, but I guess I didn't expect him to be this good of a 3-point shooter. I mean, he's been fucking lighting it up.
Dude, he did as a rookie. He could shoot threes consistently as a rookie. I remember being shocked, like, how the hell did this guy drop? And it's like, sometimes maybe it is the eyeball test. You have to be like, no, this guy's good.
Yeah. Well, he didn't play. That's the crazy thing, though, dude. He didn't play that much in Louisville. He didn't. He really didn't. He's one of the only guys ever to get more, to have more of an offensive load from college to the NBA his rookie year. Like, it's crazy that happened to him.
It's also crazy that they lost Gordon Hayward, and everyone's like, well, that's it for the Jazz. And it's like,
Right.
no, they're better now.
Yeah.
They're fucking better. You never know.
You know what? I'm actually not wrong. I looked up his basketball reference. He's a career 35% free throw shooter or 3-point shooter. So he's just on fire right now at the right time.
I know, but that's not for a guy who is ball dominant, who has to control the ball a lot. A lot of those threes are off the dribble. So I don't.
Sure. Look, I'm not saying it's horrible, but it's 35 is not. The man he had fucking 9 threes this game. Like, he's been doing shit like that.
He's also, I think he's like, it's like a harder, because they do have Joe Ingles, who's like a great 3-point shooter, so that takes away from it. But like, he is doing a lot of that creation, especially.
Yeah.
Mike Conley's had a bad year, and
you know what? For that matter, Jamal Murray's a 36% 3-point career shooter. So, hopefully both these guys are making the leap. It would be weird if these defenses are just so shitty. It makes them look awesome, and they just go back to regular after this. But I don't think so. I think
Jamal Murray,
he's for sure.
It's funny because they signed him to that just insane contract, and they're like, it was the same shit with the Knicks did with Tim Hardaway Jr. Where they're like, maybe he'll play up to it. Murray has.
Yeah.
Hardaway Jr. did not.
I
don't know if you guys were paying attention to the Knicks, but he did. Look, he looked pretty good for the Mavs in the playoffs, so good for him.
Yes. He did.
Good for him for succeeding elsewhere.
That's right.
We never get the benefits here in New York.
we really, it's really like being a fucking spinster, a Knicks fan. Just watching all your boyfriends become happily married, and we're just over here alone.
Yeah, you look on Facebook, and at a certain point, you're like, well, maybe it's me.
Yeah,
it's kind of rough, but what are you gonna do?
But yeah, Murray, this was first player since MJ in the 93 finals to drop 3 straight 40-point plus games in a series. And also, listen to this, a 26-year-old record set. He's the second player in league history to score 50 points on 70% shooting. Since somebody did it in 1994. Any guesses?
In 94?
Yeah.
Not Reggie.
It's Charles Barkley.
Oh,
he scored 50 on 70. Must have just been nothing but dunks in Barkley's case, you'd think. A lot of dunks, a lot of layups.
It's so much
still.
hard. I mean, that's the thing is like back in the day when people did this, because threes are so common now. When Jordan and AI were doing that shit, there was a lot of difficult mid-range shots.
Totally. And also, the pace was different, especially in the AI days.
More
like
physical.
It's crazy.
They're protecting jump shooters like I've never seen this many fouls on threes in my life.
Yeah, which, that's how the game is going. And, if it wasn't, that they're protecting rightfully so, I think. One thing they're definitely calling a lot of fouls on is when people fuck with your landing zone.
Bruce Bowen would have been out of the game.
Bruce Bowen out of
every fucking game. Remember what he used to do? He used to like try to sprain Ray Allen's ankles, and he was just like, "What the fuck are you doing?" Ray Allen in today's game would have been unstoppable.
Absolutely. Abso-fucking-lutely.
Just a bucket all day.
100%.
Because people forget Ray Allen as a youngster he would shoot those off the dribble, but those were not considered good shots back then.
No.
He would have hit those.
Absolutely. I would he'd be fucking great. And had a lot, and was a much better athlete than people remember because of he was dunking out he had real hops.
The 96 draft is one of the all-time great drafts. AI, Kobe.
Oh yeah, a great
Ray
one.
Allen.
Yes, Nash is in that one, I believe.
Marcus Camby was a beast.
So anyway, Game 7 coming up tomorrow. That'll be fucking incredible to watch. And I also have to say, like, Jamal Murray, I just feel bad for these guys. Murray puts up 50 points, and then immediately after, the sideline guy, I don't know who the fuck the guy is. He's not a bad sideline reporter, but, Murray is clearly emotional, and the guy is asking him all these, like, social justice questions and all, and it's like
he was out of breath, dude. He was
out of breath. He just goes 50. He plays. I don't know if he played the whole second half this game, but he basically is his whole team's offense. The guy just went through all this shit. He's so locked in to just like winning this game. Staving off elimination off of his own personal heroics for the second game in a fucking row, and he's got to immediately start. I just think, like, I don't know, man. It's not these guys' job. Like, good for them.
Well, he is wearing Breonna Taylor on one sneaker, and
I know, man, but I just feel bad
other,
for these guys.
I know, but I think like they also, of course I feel bad, but I think they want to talk about that. That's why they're there. They're there for that platform. So I feel bad that he's like literally out of breath. And
the guy started crying. It's like I don't know.
It was moving. I thought it was a moving speech.
It was moving. I just felt like he wasn't ambushed. Obviously, that's part of the game. Sure. We all know about it, but it just like these guys.
It's hard to be articulate when you're out of breath.
And it's hard enough to fucking score 50 points in an NBA game without having to immediately say the right thing. And they're so scrutinized by whatever anyone wants to say. But, still, though, an incredible – I don't know. Part of me – you see shit like that, and part of you is like, I totally get why they were thinking about not playing. This is a lot, man. It's so much.
Oh, I feel it watching it as a fucking white guy in my apartment. And I'm like,
right.
This is a lot. Like you feel – that they have this load on their shoulders, all of them. And it's, so, like they're using Doc Rivers' speech as like a Lincoln Project.
Fuck the Lincoln Project,
dude,
by the way.
It's ridiculous. I mean, where they're like, there's fucking dramatic music. I'm like, you're just taking NBA.
Fuck them, dude. Those are just like those motherfuckers all made the Iraq War happen. Yeah. Now because Donald Trump is like rude, he's not that much fucking different than George, but he just fucking, they're like, we would like people to be more polite when they take part in genocides.
I'll be honest, I hear that a little bit. There's like a part of me that's like, you got to do the dance a little, man.
But we're fucked though, because it's like now there's not even Democrats or Republicans. It's literally like fucking Nazis and Republicans.
Look, man, though, if we're gonna bomb other countries, I want some good grammar out of my president. I don't want all these
run-on sentences. Anyway, fuck the Lincoln Project. And what else we got going on here? Salute to Jamal Murray, obviously.
The Clippers did away with Dallas. I mean,
Clippers did away with Dallas.
Insane that they even made it 6 games without Porzingis. Give them props.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
Porzingis got thrown out of the first game, so they really didn't have Porzingis at all.
Yeah,
Luka just went Luka.
Yeah, exactly. Against an incredibly deep, incredibly well-designed team to stop exactly him, by the way.
Veteran defenders.
And he still had an incredible series. Obviously his legendary game, we talked about it on the last free episode. Huge series for Dallas is exactly the sweet spot in life. You have potential, but no one's expecting too much from you. Yeah. You know what I mean? Life is only about to go downhill from here, Dallas. It's like you have to start achieving things. Now you have to start, you know what I mean?
Luka right now, you're like, fuck, is KP gonna stay healthy and fuck up my legacy? Right?
Absolutely, dude. I mean, KP, that's not, I mean, torn meniscus in game 1.
Yeah, that's
and he's already, he already fucking had his ACL.
This is what Phil Jackson said about him after drafting him to, I think, troll him. Phil Jackson's mind games are very odd. So Phil drafts Kristaps and then was like, I actually don't know if he has the body for the NBA. And Porzingis, to his credit, was like, I know what he's doing. Like, I know what he's trying to do. But it's also like, he's 19. Like, what the fuck are you doing?
Right.
You know? And now I watch him, and like we've talked about it, dude. You watch Porzingis dunk, and you're like, that doesn't look right. He's just we've never seen a guy who's this tall and also this athletic.
Yeah,
he's literally doing some of Durant shit in a 7'3" frame.
Right.
And Durant is like just at the ceiling where it's like even with Durant, you're like, fuck, that was kind of weird.
Right. Yeah, and he doesn't bang as much as Porzingis is expected to bang bodies. It's tough, man.
I worry about it. I don't obviously wish him any ill will, and I hope he's healthy, but like, God, I worry about him.
It's tough. I mean, he torn left ACL, torn right meniscus in the other knee. Like, that's not what you want. I mean, they've just extended him. He has $131 million left on the contract. That's not what you're expecting from the guy that's supposed to be. And without the injuries again, we've talked about it. He's the perfect big. He's the perfect big for today's NBA. Rim protector that shoots threes.
You need like a tough like almost like a Reggie Evans type. Not Reggie Evans, but a guy who could just bang.
PJ Tucker, honestly, something like that.
Yeah.
You need one of those short, stocky guys. And you know what? They need that as a team anyway, because they need some kind of enforcer, tough guy, not just for Porzingis' sake, but I think just like
Tech Luka.
You need some guy that's going to fuck Marcus Morris up. Like Marcus Morris, I know he's your boy. I know you love him, but there's no way around it. He was on his Bruce Bowen shit against
Marcus made
Luka.
me feel alive for the first time in a long time. Marcus Morris, I know the fucking fans hate when I say this shit, but like, look, man, this is how painful it is to be a Knicks fan. I'm wearing a Chauncey Billups Knicks jersey. We have fleeting moments of joy.
Oh fuck! Marcus Morris is the affair you had, like a down and dirty. You've been in a loveless marriage, and some guy just fucking pulled you into his moving truck and ate your pussy, and you're like, oh my god,
he's the hot dude and unfaithful. And then fucking Richard Gere comes along and kills his ass. That's James Dolan in this fucking analogy. So that first round pick, we better get someone decent, man, because Mook was worth more to me than just that. I love Mook.
Oh my god,
we'll get him back. They'll win the chip and we'll get him back.
Yeah. I agree, Sammy. No problem. This is like right before. This is gonna be. If this was Mice and Men, this is what I'd be saying to you right before I shoot you in the head. You're right, Sam. We're gonna get him back. Marcus Morris is coming back.
Instead of a bunny, I'm holding a fucking my Instagram too tight. I'm just like, look at him.
Yeah.
Look at what he did. Look at his game winner.
And obviously everyone's talking about the Mavericks, and yes, there's a lot. The Mavericks have a very bright future, all that stuff. Obviously, it'll be interesting to see what they do. They have their own first rounder this year. I don't know how the fuck the Knicks didn't get that one in the trade. And they also have the Warriors second, which, because of how shitty the Warriors were, is going to be number 31, which is almost like a shitty first-round pick. So they have a little draft capital. They have the mid-level exception, but
I'm so mad the Warriors got the second pick.
Yeah, I know. But the truth about Dallas is they are almost everyone is still under contract. They're basically going to run this team back. They really only have one roster spot next year, and they come completely free next in 2021. Luka's still
Tim Hardaway and Courtney.
Everybody's off the books that year. The only thing they really have is Porzingis. Obviously, they have a couple guys, and Luka's still $10 million a year. So that's the year where they're going to try and get a third superstar. I mean, and then also
the problem.
That's the year Giannis is up. By the way,
here's the problem though. Porzingis stays unhealthy for another year or two, and you're Luka. Do you stick around?
I think they do whatever the fuck it takes for Luka. Luka's not leaving.
Here's what I'm saying though. Luka might want to be out of Dallas. There's a lot of,
Oh yeah, you think so?
There's a lot of pressure in Dallas.
Not a big Slovenian community for all I know.
That's not what I hit. In New York, we love
Hey,
Slovenia.
I'm in Queens right now. There's a lot of Slovenians around here.
Melania loves it here. Melania's Slovenian. She loves New York.
Yeah, stay in Trump Tower, Luka. I love it.
I'm just saying, Luka looks like he would fucking love the bright lights of New York.
Yeah.
Garden fans would adore
Absolutely.
him.
He's going to fucking he's in the Bronx hanging out with we got every type of Serb. It'll remind you of being home. Go to the Bronx, talk to some fucking Albanians. Go to Brighton Beach, have some borscht. I don't know what the fuck Slovenians like.
Man. Oh, a good borscht. I love it. You can do a cold borscht with some cream in that motherfucker. You can do a nice hot winter borscht.
Nothing wrong with any of that.
Probably my number one soup.
Ooh, interesting.
Is that
number
crazy?
One. It's crazy. That's a fucking peasant soup.
I
respect it.
I love a good seafood bisque, but I'm not going to act.
That's the zone I'm in. I'm a more luxurious boy than you, Sam. In fact, I had my favorite soup this weekend. I had cream of crab soup. That's my shit.
I love that. I do love a bisque.
That's my shit.
Crab or lobster bisque is fucking amazing. But man, I gotta say, I love a good borscht, man.
I'm not a borscht guy. I like a peasant soup myself, but my peasant soup is pho. That's some shit that they just came up with by throwing bones and noodles and shit.
I love
it. I'm not a borscht guy though, I have to say.
To me, it's like the treat of winter, man. You throw some sour cream in there, you get some You get some meat, some beets in there. It's fucking great.
Yeah, see, I guess it really is just I never had it growing up, and my mom's soup was just like a fish soup with every leftover vegetable. Again, peasant stuff. Like it's a soup that started from like, all right, just boil everything you got and some boiled ass potato. There's something. It's like it's not good. Like it will never be in a restaurant, but it's that kind of like homey shit. But yeah, I never had borscht. But anyway, I think you're right. Luca's almost certainly coming to New York in about 4 or 5 years.
I just feel like
I
you
will
gotta
say,
put it into action so some bigger sports.
I was thinking about it. I was thinking about it in 2021. The fact that it's Giannis, maybe they get Giannis, but maybe they know a little something. Maybe they sign and trade Porzingis over there for Giannis or something. Giannis and Luka.
What an awful deal that would be for Porzingis and the Bucks.
Oh my God, he would kill himself. He would get fat as shit just eating nothing but fucking sausages. He's over there. Porzingis just gets obese off bratwurst and cheese curds. I had it all. Dude, fucking knees betray me. Just
you eat cheese curds and you're like, why are mozzarella sticks a thing?
Yeah,
cheese curds are so good, dude.
Because of the attack, because of people say Jews control the media. I think mozzarella sticks prove Italians control food media. they push their mozzarella sticks when the down home, the good people, the good fat people of Wisconsin that haven't figured out with cheese curds. I agree with you.
Cheese curds rule, man.
They're so good, dude. They're
you get
awesome.
A garlic cheese curd, man. Game over.
I loved it. I was Milwaukee. Honestly, Milwaukee was one of the last towns I did before the fucking pre-COVID.
Milwaukee.
Yeah, great town.
It is a good city, man.
Shouts out to Turner Hall. It was a fun. I forgot to book an opener, so I just had to walk out and just start doing stand-up. It was one of those where I didn't like. Sometimes I have to book it. Sometimes they, whatever. And I literally tweeted like 7 minutes. Hey, is anyone in the crowd a stand-up comic?
That's hilarious.
And I was like, all right, fuck it.
That is hilarious.
I was just in a Giannis jersey full of cheese curds. I did like an hour 20 because I had to do the opener's time too. It was fun though. Love Milwaukee. Had a great time over there.
It's a great pic of you in the Cream City jersey.
Yes. Can't wait to go back, folks. Once Corona's over, I guarantee you, me and Sammy are all over this fucking country every weekend.
Yeah, man.
Anyway, so that it'll be interesting, obviously, to see what the Mavs do next. And listen, for everyone talking about. And I know this was a big Porzingis coming out party, and everyone's talking about, Donovan Mitchell, and everyone's talking about Jamal Murray. But who was third in scoring in the playoffs so far was Kawhi Leonard with, 33.
Oh, 33. Okay.
32.8. Yeah. 33 a game. I mean, Murray's got 34 a game. So it's like he's right there. He just does it with pure consistency.
Tell me if I'm wrong, but I believe it was like around 10 boards and 6 assists.
Yeah, he's got right around there. I mean, listen to these.
That is absurd that he's not even.
Listen to these lines. Game 1, 29, 12 rebounds, 6 assists, 3 steals. 35. Game 2, 35, 10, 2, 1, 36, 9 and 8 with 2 steals. 32, 9 and 4 with 2 steals. 32, 7, 4 a steal. 33, 14, 7, and 5 steals.
And it's not talked about because
no one.
This
is
the greatness that we expect from Kawhi.
Exactly.
It is LeBron level where it's like it's the playoffs. Kawhi will dominate. He is that good. So, yeah. Shouts out to Kawhi. Shouts out to the Clips for moving on. I got to give some love, and I hate to say this. I fucking hate to do this.
Brutal.
This hurts because you know what's coming. Boston, man.
Ugh, boo.
I want the Raptors to win.
I know they looked like shit.
They looked like they don't have like a killer.
Well,
guy.
It was here's the thing.
They're gonna come back.
Here's the thing. Last night is sort of proof that Spicy P isn't ready to be night in, night. He's not Kawhi. Like as much as we can say like, well, they can replace most of Kawhi with like Siakam just had a really bad.
They're historically bad in game 1 though.
They are, although they did, that is true. But now we're reaching. But I mean, Siakam starts. He misses 4 or 5. He gets 3 fouls like that. I mean, you just can't do that. You can't do that. He ends.
I think that third foul. They talked about it during the game. They're like, "This is a home court game for Toronto. They're not calling that.
No chance, right?
That was an iffy call.
Yeah.
And I kind of didn't like it in the playoffs. But, dude, they're calling everything on threes. Every three-point shot is a fucking foul now. I've never seen
It is. It does feel a little much. Although the pace has definitely improved since the beginning.
I agree.
But,
I just think, like, I hated that because I thought the Raptors were going to make a run. And I thought that just killed. That was a huge call because Nick Nurse challenged that.
right.
They didn't get it. And now the Celtics looked like a three-headed monster. Kemba is hitting big shots. And look, it is cool to see Kemba. Like, he's never been in the playoffs, right? So
Yeah, for sure.
It's pretty cool to see him. Or maybe he has a first round or something. I don't know.
Oh, he's been in the playoffs, but yeah, nothing. I mean, yeah,
Nothing
first
with
round.
like a real team. Yeah.
No,
so
no.
He's looking good again. He looks like a little more healthy. Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, dude, I mean, they're really fucking good.
They're really good. But and listen, not to – no, you know what? Fuck it. To take something away from the Celtics.
Thank you, finally.
Fuck the Celtics. They did play good, but the Raptors, in my opinion, just played worse. Like
They shit the bed.
it was horrible. I mean, and look, let's finish with Siakam. His line was brute. I mean, 5 for 16, 3 rebounds, 2 assists. You're having a shitty scoring game. You're not getting any fucking rebounds? Come on.
We were texting the other day. I said, who do you take right now, Siakam or Tatum? And you brought up that Siakam's a few years older than him, which I thought was a good point. Tatum is going to be a superstar.
Yeah.
I mean, he has got the moves, dude. It's funny. I think someone was telling me that they thought he took a step back in his sophomore year because he trained with Kobe.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people were
When
saying.
players train with Kobe, they say they try to be Kobe.
Right.
Who they are.
Right.
Interesting point, because now he's not Kobe. He's a different style player.
But but you know what? Now it does seem like he hits that step back a little more, or that turnaround rather, not step back, that turnaround. He does flash it every once in a while.
No, he's got that kind of footwork for a young player where he can do that, and he's got some nice handles for a bigger player, and he can shoot. Obviously, I mean, he's a very, very gifted player.
Yeah, certainly. And I mean, listen, you know, he's been playing better in the bubble. And again, the other thing with Siakam that I didn't realize before kind of digging into why he played so shitty is that I didn't realize he's been playing bad in the bubble. Like, I didn't watch a lot of the Raptors in the bubble. He was shooting 39% in the seeding games he played, and he only shot 41 against Brooklyn. I mean, that's a bad sign, bro. And listen,
but they also swept Brooklyn with him playing like shit. So that's
right.
That also speaks to how well Van Vliet has been playing. He didn't play well yesterday either. He is such a dangerous weapon who will be a Knick next year. Kyle Lowry is luckily playing for them, so maybe they go on a running game too. It's just a lot to ask. I mean, Kyle Lowry's a little dude. He's not so is Van Vliet. They're just not big guys.
Mm-hmm.
The Celtics are just long. They don't even have Gordon Hayward. They're a long athletic.
It's funny. It seems like they're playing better without Gordon Hayward. That guy's career has been hysterical. Like, Embiid was playing in the best place ever. Like, for him, like imagine if he doesn't leave. Like, he's like a hero. He could just stay the Jazz legend
like,
forever.
you will be a hero. But also, it's like you have Malone and Stockton, and they didn't.
Yeah.
They were like They didn't win because of Jordan. They would have won a ring.
Yeah, they were like, you can be number 3 one of the 3 biggest Jazz ever, number 2 non-pedophile edition.
That's
division.
true.
So it's like, if we're counting,
that's big.
That's big. And anyway, that's what Mitchell's shooting for, number 1 non-pedophile. Anyway, but okay, as much as we want to blame him, and, you know, sure, they might have played, or blame him as in Siakam, and yeah, they might have played good against the Nets, but I mean, this really was just the Raptors shooting the bed. They shot 36.9, dude. Yeah. Like, and they shot 25 from 3.
Game. It was
10 for 40. It was brutal. It was a brutal game.
Also, it's just tough. Like, Marc Gasol and Serge Ibaka are not young. I mean, they're a team that they're veterans, but like their bigs are kind of older guys. Yeah.
And listen, their defense, I hate to give credit to fucking Brad Stevens, but it looked like they were doing, you know, I would love for him to be a completely overrated fraud, absolutely. But I will say, and it's hard to say how much was just Toronto sucking dick and how much was the game plan, but their offensive game plan was, because Toronto's got a great defense, and they do a lot of movement. They do a lot of switching. They do a lot of double teams. They front. I mean, they switch up their coverage a lot, and Boston sort of kept the fucking ball moving. It was not. They kind of are trying to
because they can.
Well, they could also, in theory, go. They have enough players to, in theory, play more like almost like a little more isolation or a little more traditional pick and roll, but they really didn't. They really attacked them in interesting ways, and
they have 4 guys who can create shots in Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Kemba Walker, and Marcus Smart. They're all creators.
Yeah.
And then if you have Gordon Hayward, he'll give you a few assists. He can do the same. So on paper, they have a lot of weapons.
Yeah,
man. They're a deeper team than we gave them credit for, I think.
Yeah, so
I don't think this series is over. I'm just saying.
No. Definitely, it's not over. This is a tradition. This is a standard. Teams have bad games in the fucking playoffs. You look at some of the most legendary series after the fact, and you forget. A great example is think of the Warriors Cavs series where they come back. That was all fucking blowouts. It was all blowouts until the end. This happens a lot in the playoffs. And, when you're living through it, you're like, sky is falling. This isn't shit. Especially a night where a team just shoots 37%. That's not going to fucking keep happening. As good as Boston's defense is, their defense isn't what made them shoot 37% didn't make them go 10 for 40. They were just off.
I do worry a little bit because the combination that's so potent for the Raptors is Van Vliet and Lowry, and they're both kind of small against a team that is athletic and has great defenders.
Right.
Jaylen Brown and Marcus Smart are, to me, elite defenders. And
for everything, and for as good as the Celtics,
and Tatum is great too on defense.
And Nurse is an incredible fucking tactician. Everyone, he's a great coach, does interesting stuff. But where their team does struggle is the half court offense, and you wonder what they're going to do to go about it. Being a fucking idiot that doesn't know shit and just talking out of my ass, the only thing that I guess I would try and do is go after Kemba on switches, but I don't know if that's go after Kemba and they don't really have a fucking shot blocker, but I don't know. Again, that's me being a fucking idiot and not really looking at the Celtics defense. When you have a starting 5 that is going to include Kemba, and the only non-Kemba player after that you would maybe want to exploit is maybe the center, is maybe Tice or whoever the fuck. Because whether it's Smart, whether it's Brown or Tatum, there's no easy guys to pick on. Right. And it's not like they have some great offensive half-court system. They really don't. They struggle. I guess that's the only thing you can do, but we'll see.
How about so they're do you think the Celtics take this, or do you think the Raptors
fuck.
I think it's going to go long. I think it's going to be a 6 or 7 game series, no question.
I think it's going to be 7 games. I'm just going to say Raptors. Fuck it. Fuck the Celtics.
Really? I want the Raptors. I got a bad feeling.
I can't pick the Celtics.
I just think we'll see. Look, and I think the Bucks are going to beat the Heat. I do. I just think the Heat are an annoying matchup for them, but I do.
They're an annoying matchup. I'm worried. Like I said, I'm not worried. I think it'll be sort of like what the Mavs was for the Clippers, where it's it's a good warm-up. It's a good test. It's exactly the kind of team you need to learn how to beat, because that's,
It's a tough matchup, but also don't you think the Celtics or the Raptors are a tougher matchup?
Yeah, I just think the Heat, because of the combination of their shooting, their three-point shooting, and Bam Adebayo, who guards Giannis better than anybody, plus Jimmy, who can, be a secondary defender, and Iguodala, they, in theory, that's how you construct a team to beat Giannis. But I just don't think they're good enough.
They're not good enough, but they're going to take a couple games probably. I see it going 6.
I could see it going 6. Again, I want them to fucking come out, and I'm really I just want to see how they look tonight, and I would just want them to have the challenge and then overcome it. And because, that's what it's going to be. If you want to be a champion, you obviously have to beat teams like this. And I think they really still can be champs this year. As shitty as they're playing, we've seen it happen where people
It's wide open,
round into form, and it is wide open for sure.
I do think right now, if I had to pick a team, I picked them earlier. I still think the Clips are going to be so damn hard to beat in 7 games.
I fucking know it sucks.
They're really.
I know the Mavs had a much better chance of beating them than the Nuggets or Jazz do. So.
Oh yeah, and Lakers Clips will be a great series. It would be hilarious if somehow the Rockets went through the Lakers and the Clippers. It would be fucking hilarious if James Harden just went off.
It would rock.
The beard just averages 50.
That would rock.
Russ is just throwing down dunks and screaming in LeBron's face.
Yeah.
I would love it.
I would love it. I wouldn't even be mad if they beat Giannis, dude, honestly.
I just feel bad for Harden. You know, he's just kind of.
Yeah.
He just deserves to be an NBA champ. He's so great.
Yeah.
You know.
We'll see. We'll see what happens. But anyway, folks, fucking playoffs are looking gorgeous. The second round is the best.
It's juicy.
It's juicy. 2 games a night, perfect amount. Although I'm gonna miss the 3. I'm gonna miss 3 a day.
Oh, dude, It was like Zoloft.
It was awesome.
It was
dude.
fucking huge. Yeah.
I'm gonna miss 3 a day. I'm gonna miss just having a big fucking sausage, egg, and cheese and a fucking iced coffee and just watching the afternoon games. I mean, I'm literally gonna, as much as the fucking pandemic sucks, I'm going to fondly think about the bubble.
One of the only bright spots, and unfortunately, we're in such a it's just divisive
brutal
time, and these protests and it's just I wish that we could have fonder memories for bubble basketball.
Oh yeah,
the rest of life is just garbage.
So horrible.
But the competition level in the bubble has been incredible.
It would be nice if the NBA can figure some way to get something similar going, like some kind of tournament vibe, some kind of like
King of the Ring and WWF.
Yeah, just something like this, dude. This was fucking cool. Games every other day was fucking cool.
You know what I want to see at All-Star Weekend, man? And I've said it before. I'll say it again. One-on-one competition.
Yeah, for sure.
How fun would that be? Just to 9 or 11 or something. Don't you want to see Kyrie Irving play dudes one-on-one?
I think the problem is, if you think about it, guys would take that almost too seriously. I think people would get injured doing that. Or either they take it so seriously that it's an injury risk, or they don't take it seriously enough, and then what's the point? You know what I mean?
Maybe you're right.
But
I guess I just want to see it.
I'd love to see it, yeah, for sure. But anyway, guys, so a lot of good basketball. Enjoy the two big games a night, in perpetuity until the end of this season. And I think all these series have a chance to go long, so hopefully we get a nice amount of good basketball in the second round.
Yeah, I hope these are long series. I want the NBA to last a while. I do not want to. I do not want to face my life anytime soon, buddy.
We're really gonna have to face our lives when the fucking championship, when it's like I'm gonna start getting sad at the finals. The finals is it's like when it goes from at least a game a night. When it goes from that to we have to wait it's like
Dude, it's
the finals feel like you're just squeezing the last bit of toothpaste out of the tub. You're just like, oh, give me some more basketball.
I guess I'll risk it all to see Tenet in movie theaters.
Yeah, just to feel alive.
Was it worth it? Oh, how about this new Russell Crowe thriller where he's scary as fuck?
Yeah, where he's trying to kill a woman because she didn't smile at him or whatever.
Not a very odd choice in the Me Too era. Hollywood is like, yeah, he tries to kill her because she's not nice to him.
Yeah.
This is it. So the real throwback. That's what they call a movie that's offensive to a. This is like Cape Fear, man. This is
a throwback to a simpler time. But I'm excited for it. At least it's very fun. And thank you for everybody subscribing to the Patreon. We really appreciate it. The Hard Dick 56 have grown. We're over 700 now, which is huge.
Yeah, where are we right now? Let's see.
I think we're at 705. I want to say 700, something like that.
That's impressive. Hit us to 1,000, man. I want to fucking.
We really appreciate you guys signing up, and we love doing the show.
707, buddy.
707. I love it. We love doing the show. We love basketball, and we love you guys. So keep listening. We will be back Thursday or Friday, probably Friday. Oh, the next episode, the next Patreon, I will have a tooth, Sam.
Whoa.
I'm going to get dental surgery Wednesday. So hopefully I'm not too fucked up and I can speak by Friday. If not, we might have to figure something out. But,
something. But yeah, expect Friday. Hope for Friday, but if not, it'll be there Saturday.
So thank you guys, and we'll talk soon. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.